The Syracuse men's lacrosse team is 0-1 after a season-opening loss to Colgate. Welcome into this webisode edition of Cuse Countdown. Cooper Boardman, Sean Scott, and Will Scott here with you. SU trying to bounce back, but it has a tough test this weekend against Albany, a national semifinalist a year ago. But it is a little bit of a different look for this Great Danes team, Sean.
Yeah, Albany's lost 4 All-Americans from last year's great team, and among them, T.D. Erlin and Connor Fields, 2 of the best players in the country last year. And anytime you lose 2 great players like that and 4 All-Americans, the team's definitely going to struggle a little bit more compared to last season.
Yeah, Fields was one of the best players in NCAA lacrosse history. He's definitely is going to go down as one of the Albany greats. And then you have Erlin transferring to Yale. Such a big blow. I mean, he had one of the best percentage-wise seasons of any face-off man in the entire history of college lacrosse. So a really, really big loss for Albany there.
Yeah, and it was a surprising loss as well for the Albany Great Danes. Head coach Scott Marr said, look, this is going to be a growth year for us, and certainly Albany can take a big step in its season opener against Syracuse. It's got to come to the Carrier Dome. For SU, just looking to grab that first victory of the season. For the Orange, what's the key to pick up the victory?
I'm going to say they have to be aggressive. Against Colgate on last week, it just looked like Syracuse kind of sleptwalked through that first half. They struggled. They weren't really doing much. Suddenly they're down by 3 at halftime, and by the time they wake up in the second half, it's a little too late. And Danny Varello, the face-off specialist, he struggled. Jacob Fobb went 8 for 13 converting those face-off opportunities. He might be a very important figure going forward.
Well, we talked about who Albany lost. They still have Tehoka Nanticoke, though, who last season for Albany had one of the best college debuts that we've ever seen. So my key for Syracuse is to contain him. You don't want to let him play the way he normally does. He had 50 goals last season, was an All-American, scored 5 against SU. If you're Syracuse, you have to find some way to slow him down because he is now the guy for Albany with Connor Fields gone.
Nanticoke, one of the biggest scorers on Albany. One of the biggest scorers for Syracuse is Brendan Curry. Post-game, Curry talking about that loss. He said, look, this isn't Syracuse lacrosse. We're going to bounce back. Will, do they bounce back?
I think no, unfortunately. Albany is just too good. I'm picking the Great Danes to win this one 11-10. I think Syracuse is going to come out swinging. This is a team that hasn't started 0-2 in the John Desko era. I expect them to put up a good fight, but the bottom line is that Albany is just the better team, Sean.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you basically on every point. I've got Albany 10-8, a little bit different score. Look, yes, the team's going to be a little bit worse than last year, losing all those All-Americans like we talked about, but at the end of the day, they are still better than Colgate. Look, Syracuse will be prepared, and I think they will get off to a better start, but that talent that you talked about, Nanticoke, I think will lead Albany to a win.
All right, I get my prediction too, and I'm going to use it. I'm taking Syracuse over Albany by a final score of 12-11. I just think people are undervaluing the quality of Colgate in a Patriot League that's on the up and up. Colgate's got All-Americans, high school All-Americans, that is, on its second line offensively, and we saw that in action on Friday. Syracuse is a really good lacrosse team, and I think people are discounting that a little bit. I know you guys might not agree, but that's certainly what I'm going with, SU by 1. But hey, for now, that'll do it. We'll see how the game shakes out. For Sean and Will Scott, I'm Cooper Boardman saying so long and enjoy the game, everybody.